Speaker ready. Well, good afternoon. It's good to be here. I'm going to talk a little bit about why America needs a weight loss program, a clean energy program, and a technology space program. And I'm going to talk about what those three things have to do with each other. Now, I'll state a few biases. I am heavily invested in many clean energy and clean fuels companies. And I am also a member of the Utah Biodiesel Co-op. And I have always loved peanut butter. Now you may wonder what weight loss, peanut butter, and space-age technology have to do with each other. The answer to that is one man, and his name is George Washington Carver. Now, George Washington Carver was a research scientist, and he was a biochemist, and he was researching a few things, but it all really started with the peanut. According to the History Channel Modern Marvels program, George Washington Carver started researching the peanut as a way to rejuvenate soil after it had been growing crops such as cotton, which takes a lot of nutrients to grow. And so in the South, after the Civil War and all of that, there was a lot of cotton growing going on, and it was deplenishing the soil. And so George Washington Carver at Tuskegee University started looking into what kind of plants farmers could grow to rejuvenate that soil. So he started researching peanuts, and he found that peanut plants brought up a lot of nutrients to the soil. As he did this, he created an entirely new industry, and that was the health foods industry. The health foods industry was created because peanut oil and peanuts has a lot of nutrients within it for us. And it is also very, very high in protein and substantially low in fat in compared to other products. Now, he also found that peanut oil has a lot of properties that could be used for other types of oils, such as body lotions. So peanut butter, body lotions, all kinds of things started coming out of this newfound industry. In the 1930s, scientists in George Washington Carver's field of study started looking into clean fuels. And they started to research peanut oil, soybean oil. I have an example of soy milk. Soy milk is very low in fat, very high in protein, and very nutritious. This was one of the first things that George Washington Carver started to work on with soybeans. Now, once this started happening, Henry Ford contacted George Washington Carver and told him about what they wanted to do at Ford. And George Washington Carver started to work in conjunction with Henry Ford on those projects. What resulted from this was the diesel engine. It was created by a man named Dr. Diesel from Austria. And today, we see the diesel engine everywhere. This diesel engine was built to run off of none other but peanut oil originally. Now, the diesel engine spawned a lot of interest furthered the cause for clean fuels. There was a problem, and that problem was petrol fuels were cheap, dirt cheap to be exact. And for the last 50 years, petroleum has been the way that we get energy for the most part. However, in the last 10 to 20 years, petroleum fuels have gone up substantially in cost. In 1990, petroleum fuels cost $1 a barrel, or $10 a barrel. They now cost anywhere from $50 to $60 a barrel, which has brought up the cause for clean energy once again. I had an interview with Graydon Blair. He's the president of the Utah Biodiesel Co-op, and he said that biodiesel is practical for Utah because it brings up a few things. It's cheap. It recycles waste vegetable oil, and it can be made out of pretty much anything that has grease or fat content. So things such as liposuction can actually fuel cars. The Appleseed processor, which if you go to biodiesel homepage or the biodieselhomebrewersguide.com, you'll find that the biodiesel is very easy to make. You can make it in a water heater, and that's called an Appleseed processor. Now, this research has spawned an entirely new generation of scientists, and within the last 5 years, biodiesel has become very viable and has actually been fueling the economy. The Biodiesel Bulletin states that $24 billion worth of biodiesel were sold last year. $24 billion. So it has helped keep diesel fuel costs down. Now, in space-age technology, we have something that George Washington Carver helped start, and that is research in space plants and growing plants in space. This has spawned new thoughts as farming in space, and this is only available through a technology called the fuel cell. Now, the fuel cell is created to, one, help the space industry have electricity on board the spacecraft, but also water, because it produces both. And it's very clean, very efficient. It is now supporting life on the International Space Station, and in the future it could be supporting entire farms out in space. And as well, according to MillenniumCell.com, which is a company that produces fuel cells, it may even fuel our cars or our laptop batteries. So in closing, whether we are wanting to lose weight or fuel the economy of the world or have fun with space-age technology, these things are all interrelated by one man who was George Washington Carver.